Welcome back to another live trading session, traders, for the last day of trading week on Friday, starting potentially another big trading week. Hope that ready for big week. Yesterday we had a little bit sideways movement, and today we want to trade at its best as the market currently having significant trend, and we would like to take out of the market the best possible. And by the way, traders, if you're enjoying the live section, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Let's begin another trading day here, and I'm looking at for the best possible setup at the moment. And let's look at here how we can find best entry opportunity here in this market. Some of the mention coming here. Welcome. I got a little bit of I hope that now everything is clear. All right, looking at some trading setup today here in this market, and I hope that you guys are ready for a big trading week. Now, before we look at any entry here, also I would like to look at the overall the market structure. Welcome watching from Kenya, thank you very much. Also, you guys, where you are watching from, you can right here on the live chat, you know that where you are from, and we can be ready for another big trading week here, trading day, and a last day of trading week on Friday, which is significantly important here at the moment. Now, looking at we will be looking at gold, dollar yen, DXY will not be trading, but we can look at the market movement. British pound, US dollar, and here you are looking at this market here on XAUUSD to see that overall direction in this market. Okay, and here is what we are looking at the moment for the longer term picture on gold here. Now, gold, we just had a previous trade earlier today, and gold currently in a trend. This is what we were looking at the moment, a market that is trending, so that we can look at entry. Now, looking at this market here on gold, and we will be starting with the daily market structure here. And with this daily market structure, if you look at here, this is a series of high and low. And first of all, we are doing the analysis. The first part is analysis, and then in the second part we will be looking for trade setup. And as we are progressing towards the session, and also coming up, if you look at here, coming up as per the calendar here, we see we'll be looking at around 2 hours time, core CPI, CPI and CPI. So the data may delay. It's written that it might delayed by 2 days due to the shutdown. But now today is coming out, right? Now, looking at this market here at the moment. Okay, so looking at the daily chart on gold, right? And with that daily trend, this is where the market is maintaining that series of high and low. And with this series of high and low, the market is in an uptrend. Now, if you look at here, and with this uptrending market structure, expecting that gold to eventually trend back to the upside here. Now, longer term picture, if we look at here from the weekly and from the monthly, we can see that gold is in a bullish trend. If you look at, there is a long doji from the weekly, pretty longer doji, followed by another long doji here, which is also another bigger, significantly longer doji here. Now, after this 2 weekly doji formation, we can see this week the market has broken this high here, and it's now slowly started to drop down back below. Now, if you look at the daily, here is the daily market structure, where the market, from the daily perspective here, the price is maintaining that series of high and low, which is showing that XAUUSD from the daily time frame, after this previous daily close, the market off this support, maintaining its uptrending market structure. Now, this is the previous support here. Even if we see further deepen on the daily from today's support level, we can expect a short-term upside here on the daily on gold. And this is what we are looking at here at the moment on XAUUSD, if you look at. And with this support, now you can see that the market is in this trend line, which is approaching that key level. And that is what we are looking at. This is a key support level, maintaining this series of high and low. And with this series of high and low, the price is on this uptrending market structure. Here is the 4-hour bullish engulfer. Now, with this 4-hour bullish engulfer, the market is maintaining that uptrend, and we could see that this market eventually continue to rise back here to create a new higher high, which is in fact a longer term uptrending market structure. Now, that being said, looking at the lower time frame here, that you can see the market is, here is a, if you look at, this is an order block here, which is the previous resistance turning support here, which is an order block. And of that order block, we could see the market to eventually trend back towards the upside to create a new higher high here in this market. So with this previous resistance turn support on gold, we are looking at this market to retest and then to return. Now, the market trend, though we see there is a breakout structure, but the longer term trend is still bullish. Therefore, testing 4929 or near to that level is a high probability bullish setup. However, it might even started to trend even earlier than that. Therefore, you're looking at here in that market for the price to eventually break to the upside here to create a new higher high. Here is the trend line that you can see lower time frame. Support down, resistance, 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 and expecting the market to eventually deepen further here and then to eventually revert back again towards the upside here to create a new higher high. So lower time frame, anytime the market is approaching below, can give us the trading opportunity here in that market. And this is what we are at the moment. We had just a few minutes ago, if you are here, looked at, we opened a position here earlier in London session time of this breakout, and we have taken the profit around this area, and the market later rejected back below. We have closed earlier because of that reason, so we have taken the initial move. Now what we are looking at in this market, as you can see, the market is maintaining this downtrend, creating series of lower high, and with this series of lower high, expecting the market to deepen further and then to revert again back above. Will it get to 4718? That's a 4718. 4718. Come on, that looks way lower. Let me see. If the market reverse, all right, so if you look at here from this resistance, the market has reversed off this 10 and 20 exponential moving averages. So with that movement, if you look at here on 4-hour chart, the market may, if it breaks below with a new trend, it may deepen further downside. Now, okay, one I would like to discuss that really important, that how to predict a market, right? Which is key to look at. If you look at here, this is currently in a downtrend, right? More often traders, this is essential that we look at how we can interpret a movement in the market. Okay, so when we are looking at a price going to a certain level, which I more often find this question, do you think so? Let me start a poll. So the same question I'm asking as a poll. Let's see that what most of them thinking. So I have shared with a poll here, and that that pool is, let me see what a majority of the members might be thinking here. So here is, if you look at the market is maintaining that series of this is a trend line, this is a resistance, and off that resistance the market has broken below, and we could see that the market to eventually trend down here in that direction. And with this downtrend on XAUUSD at the moment, we could see that the price to lower further, but to come such as the 4718 or lower level, which is, I guess, that you are looking at the order block, right? The previous order block. It's here. There's a double top here, right? And if you look at first move, second move, back to back, two failed attempt to create a new higher high here in that area. And these two failed attempt to create a new higher high. I use 9 EMA. Okay. The market has broken back below in that direction here in this market. Nine EMA, same. I use 10 exponential. Okay, if you look at I think weekly 9 EMA will touch, then a double bottom created 4 hour, then get buy opportunity. Weekly double bottom. Okay. Look, the way the market is forming from the weekly, if we look at the overall picture, I do not think that gold will drop below the weekly low. That means if you look at today, is the last day of trading week, right? So we are almost end of the week. This is the last day of the trading week, and because this is the last day of trading week, we could see that the market to eventually reverse back here of this level, and this is where the daily bearish price action has formed in that area. Therefore, from this support level here, we can see there is an initial breakout followed by this pullback, and if you look at this is a failed attempt to create a new higher high. Therefore, there could be a further downside here in that market. The market may drop down further back below. But at the moment, if you look at, this is the daily support level. And because this is the daily support level, the market may bounce off in the first place and then could continue to drop here back below in that area. So therefore, the market is maintaining this downtrend starting from here. A big drop, pullback. The market is maintaining that series of lower high and lower low, which is in a downtrending market structure. This is the previous resistance turn support here. And the current level that you can see here, for the short term, we could see the market to melt back down here to the support level to create a new lower low. And this is the current trend line here. They're looking at the market to break and then potentially to retest. This is the current level of resistance. The price is approaching back to the upside here, and we would like to see the price to break that high and then to potentially return again back below to the support level. With this breakout here, approaching the market in that zone, this is the 1 hour resistance line. The price is approaching that level, expecting the price to go back again to the upside to create a new higher high. Yes, the market is approaching and breaking the trend line here, and looking at this market continue to rise here back above to create a new higher high. So this is where we can see there is a resistance line that the price is approaching the resistance, expecting the price to continue to drop back below here to create a new lower low. For our double bottom, this is where you can see the market maintain that double bottom, and the price may eventually break that high to create a new higher high. We could see the price to continue to trend here back below, and this is where with this resistance the price to eventually come down back below to the support level. And with this resistance line, the price is approaching that key level where they're expecting the price to drop down further to create a new lower low in this market. So for a current nearest resistance level for now. So the current level that we can look at on gold, if you look at the lower time frame, which is 4953, 4954 level, this is where we are looking at the market to retest. We might see this market breaking that high and eventually break below here. There is a a significant fair value gap that you can see in this area. And that fair value gap, you want to see the market to fill and then to revert again back below in that direction. Is CPI big news for gold like NFP? CPI is not as impactful as NFP, but there is always some kind of movement that you can see in the market. All right. So if you look at CPI is not as impactful as the NFP, but you could see the market having that reaction with the CPI, like the high impact news, because three of them, right? And there is, of course, there is a significant reaction in the market of this CPI. No problem, you're always welcome. And this is where we are looking at an entry, as currently in this area, if you look at, this is a downtrending move here. And with this downtrending move, the market is maintaining this structure. And this is where we are looking at the price action to potentially fall down further and then continue to drop. And with this movement here, the price has reached that level and expecting the market to eventually drop down and continue to break below. Okay, we can see that the price is breaking the resistance line, which is an important level of resistance. And there is a massive fair value gap that you can see in this area. And with that massive fair value gap, the price could eventually continue to fill that zone. At the moment, you can see some upside bias, right? So if you look at the 4 hour, it is possible the market to go a bit deeper back to the upside here because the long-term trend is up. So we are looking at some short-term movement in this market to take on, and once we find that suitable entry confirmation here in this market. According to price to drop to where? Okay, this is what I was trying to explain a few minutes ago, is that one significantly important price action matter is that traders, you will never be able to know where the market will reach, and then you will be able to buy it. Right? Then as a trader, the approach is not to wait for the market to go some level, but to see in the real time how the buyers and sellers interacting at certain level. And that is where the key, that is where you need to look at that, how the market is creating the structure. And if you look at this from this support, that you can see the market has created this move back to the upside, and where with this movement the market has created that back to the upside here. And because the market has, if you look at the maintain that downtrend here, now as the market has broken a key level of resistance, we are looking at in those level of resistance for potential entry, and that's where we want to trade from those levels. So once the market managed to, if you look at here, it just has crossed this high. It just has reached that previous support and resistance. Here we might see a potential rejection of this level, because this is here the short-term downside here in this market. With this support level, the market has moved back above, and currently the price, if you look at this, is a long wick doji, and from the doji the price has created this move back to the upside. We're expecting that this market to reject back again in the major direction of the trend. Price has reached a key level where I'm looking at to see if we can see the market is rejecting back below here. And with this pin bar, if you look at the 1 hour, it's a significant pin bar, and that pin bar might take that price above. Are you going to see that move again in the direction of the major direction of the trend here? And lower time frame market structure has created this move. We're looking at the market to eventually drop further below before we look for that entry. Until you see confirmation, we are looking at that entry. With this movement, if you look at this key support, it's a clean move back to the upside here. And with this movement here, the market is approaching that that resistance, and we're looking to see that how the price action is approaching that key level. We are looking at further entry opportunity here in this market. All right, so here is the market is approaching that level. If you look at from this support level, which is approaching that key level of resistance, and the market is slowly building that momentum back to the upside. And if you look at here, this is a resistance line, and with that resistance, we can see the price is slowly building that momentum back to the upside. And this is what we are looking at this market to show up, to give us a suitable entry confirmation. If we see the market has rejected off this level, we will be looking at further entry in that direction. Should price action drop from this current level? There might be. If you look at here, the market is maintaining. Okay, so this is a semicircular structure that you can see, right? And that semicircular structure, if you look at, it is in fact in a resistance line. There is a head and shoulder that you can see, and with the head and shoulder, the market has broken entirely. Now it's pushing back to the upside, testing this previous support here as a resistance, and expecting the market to trend back down here to create a new lower low. So here is, we can see the market, the first time the 5 minutes bearish candle has formed, and that bearish candle might bring that market further downside here to this support level to create a new lower low. All right, that's what you're looking at, guys. Ready for a potential entry that I'm looking at in this market to eventually to see a potential sell opportunity. Because if the market drops down back below here from the 4-hour level, we could see that the market to eventually create a new lower low. This is what we're looking at this market structure to give us a suitable entry confirmation here in that market. So here is the lower time frame market. You can see the price has created this more pullback, another more pullback. The market is maintaining that that uptrending market structure. We're looking at the price to break below here in that area. Are you going to look at an entry? Because if the market entirely break below, we will be looking at selling here in that market. All right, looking at here, back to back 2 long week candlestick pattern, and looking for that market to eventually drop that down, eventually break that low here. Okay, so we might be able to find an entry that I'm looking at if the market eventually shows that pattern to reverse down back below. If you look at the market, this is the 15 minutes price action, which after back to back 2 candlestick pattern form tested the 20 MA, and you're looking for possible rejection of this key level here. Looking for reversal for an entry. We'll be looking to see the news coming in more than an hour, and we might be able to find an entry here. I'm still looking for short-term sell, though it might bounce back above But if we see the market has shown that rejection enough, we can look for that selling opportunity here in that market. This is what we're looking to see, how the price action is creating this structure here and then to create a new lower low. Oh, there you guys had a great enjoyable session here, and you guys enjoying, make sure you like this stream. Have you liked that? I'm preparing for a potential entry. If you enjoy and if you're enjoying, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. I think we need a different music, right? Having a little louder. It's Friday, guys. It's Friday. Get ready for party here. Is this only training you offer? We have a whole load of library, guys. Not only training, we have trading system. We are trading every single day. Okay. If you're in the premium, then you have access to my trading system. Okay, automated trading system, signals, courses, and every day posting regular trade updates as well as analysis. So you can check out the link below this video for more updated content that you can find. And anyone joining today, you can check out the link below this video on the website, where also stay connected by joining the Telegram. You can find link below this video as well. Stay connected there. And what we are looking here, the market is now building that momentum, all right? And in addition to that, if you look at here, as the market slowly pushing back to the upside here, we are looking at the price to reach any key level and then to return again back below. So it's on an uptrend here, and we are looking at the price action should go up and then to fill that gap. So here today's this is the London session opening trade, and that also, not this one, we had another one. So that one is the London session open trade. It was sent out also in the premium group. Now the market, if you look at during the London session, we had that significant breakout of this level, and as the market rejected from this support level here, this is where we have entered the trade, and the price initially came back for a drawdown and then finally bounced back to the upside. The key here is to look for a market that is trending. So whenever you can find the market is trending, you can find the directional bias. Now as we are progressing towards this, if you look at here is the session coming up. So with the upcoming, the calendar, if you look at, which is the core CPI, CPI and CPI. So this is a significant news coming later in few hours. So it's less than nearly to 1 hour. Now with the CPI, if you look at after yesterday's NFP data, the market, the day before yesterday was also unemployment claims, the market significantly reacted with DXY. Now looking at DXY market, if you look at here, this is the NFP move, and the market is in a sideways. This is also we discussed yesterday. And that is also making XAUUSD moving in a sideways. And because the market moving in a sideways, if you look at, and because the market moving in a sideways, we could see that break up any key level and then entering based on that key level. After the market entirely reject of this key level, we are looking at entry. And the market from this support level now, if you look at, slowly building its momentum back to the upside. And because the market is building its momentum back to the upside of this support, we may see that the market trend potentially to continue to rise back here to create a new higher high in this market. So here's the lower time frame price action that you can see. And because if you look at, this is a support and it's breaking back to the upside of this support, which we are looking at the market to go ahead from this support to penetrate back above and then to return again of this key level. Once the price managed to go ahead and retest, we are looking at that entry. If you look at from this support level, after break of this support, it's now slowly going back to another key level. GBP USD. GBP USD currently also moving in a sideways. Waiting is the key. This is where the key is the patience. So when you look at, when you wait patiently for the right entry, that's where the best trade comes in play. Traders, keep in mind that trading is one of the most, I would say, the boring job that you can ever have. But it's rewarding, right? Because on the other side is the reward. And that's why if you look at the system that we develop, that we are trading in the academy, okay, some of the system, most of my trading system is automated. There is only one reason, right? It's because if you look at, but one thing that I would like to mention, that don't forget to learn, like, because learning is essential as a trader, or no matter how, what kind of system you're using. First learn and then automating. Okay, if you look at the most trader lose their trading is because of they feel bored and then take unnecessary trade that may not going in their favor. That's a very, very integral part of trading psychology. But if you can master that, if you can remain patient and observant in the market, on the other side is the rewarding part of becoming a trader. And here is, if you look at, this is where the market is now on the trend line. And that trend line is essential for the market to eventually reverse back below. Is it good to buy 4952? The level that for buying or selling, we need to see that how the buyers and sellers are interacting to that level. And that's where the key. If you look at here, you can see the market has formed a double top and the price slowly building that momentum back below, right? And that's where you need to look at when we are looking at the market structure. Here is the double top and the market may trend down here to the support level. With a long wick candle, that expecting the market to continue to drop back below here. And this is what we're looking at with this bearish engulfer, waiting for the market to trend and then to drop further back below here. So I would be looking for potential sell shortly, just looking for a plan for the risk management as the market has rejected off this long week candle. We will see that the news is coming an hour later, but we could see the market eventually to have a reaction back below here. Still not entering, but we will be waiting to see how the market reacting to that. We might see another attempt from the buyers if the market reject of this key level. We will be looking at this market to enter, coming back below. Aman, is it good to buy? We're starting trading after a long break. Hope you are doing great. Thanks for welcome back. Yes, this is what now trading is hot. You know that. Heaps of people making a good amount of money now out of trading. It's freedom, guys. Trading is always freedom, because this is the easiest thing that one can do, right? And other than anything, other than trading, because trading we can start with even with a demo account, with a smaller account, right? With $100, $200, $500 account, we can start trading. That's the beauty of becoming a trader. Now, is it what? Of course, because there's a lot of door will open for you once you master this skill, right? That's what the trading is. Once you master this skill, there will be door open for you, or open door for you, right? Now, this is where, other than anything else, you need, when I started, it was mess. Okay. And I have found that I tried everything when I was transitioning to as a trader. But what I have found that this is only one thing that you need nothing rather than anything else. So therefore, trading is fun and rewarding, and just what you need is patience and developing a trading psychology. And you can come back anytime, right? You can restart again whenever you can. When did you start trading? Very long ago. Very long time ago. Now, it's now how many years? 12 years. Okay. Now, if you look at, for a trader, most trader, they just, try to learn everything within short period of time. You need to look at the long-term picture. You need to look at the bigger picture. That's where you learn the better understanding. That's where you learn the real meaning of trading. When you look at the long-term picture, because gaining that skill and also mastering the trading psychology, it requires a little bit of time. Can you go sell side now? All right. Now, this is what I was thinking, but there was a breakup structure. If you look at, because of this breakup structure, I'm not selling here yet. But if the market fail of this, that's where you will be looking to see a sell. At the moment, because there's a breakup structure, it might try to move again back above here. All right. So if you look at, and this is where we're looking to see the market to trade and then to return again back below. Are you guys getting my point? Is the volume okay? Or having some? I think we might see some rejection here, guys. What do you think? I will be looking for sell now. Here, the market is slowly building a bearish price action. This is a potentially a false breakout, but I will be strictly managing the risks. That's where the key, guys. Keep in mind that risk management is key. If the market reverse again back above, I will be out. All right. So I'm looking at selling off this level to the downside here from this buy market, and we'll be keeping a little wider stop loss here for this potential move. 70, not very wide, 76 pip stop loss here. They're expecting the market to reject back again of this support level here. And I'm short. It's a buy market order. Okay, since as soon as I open sell, the market dropped. I'm running little profit, but I would like to see that it's breaking below further. So do we have enough movement here? I've also shared the same trade alert in the premium group. For those who are in the premium group, you can check it out. For the entry, stop loss, and take profit target, I do share all trade that I'm opening in the premium group, including the trading system that I'm using currently, also available for the premium members to use. And if you are a premium member, you can access those systems as well. Also, don't miss out to join the Telegram. You can find link below this video where I'm sharing regular trade update as well as educational content every single day to help the traders to learn and grow. Here's the Telegram. You guys can see that and you can join there. Here's what we are looking at in that area. This is where there is a long wick and expecting the market to trend down here back below. We're getting some upside bias here. We're getting some reaction from this long wick here. Okay. I'm running it, guys. As soon as I will be taking profit, I'll also let you know in that area. We're getting downside here, that we can see some bearish price action still being formed, and we might see here, if the market eventually breaks below, we might see a stronger reversal in that area on this market. You want to see the downside here breaking below, and you want to take this one, guys. This is the second trade of the day. We open another one during the London session, and this one we want to take it back below here to the downside, and the market may go in any direction, but we want to take the first move. All right, as soon as the market breaks from the structure here, we will be taking the first move and we'll be closing the profit. Okay, getting downside here, getting downside. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is breaking below here. 39 pip up on this. Can you share your feedback? Awesome. Cooling that down here. All right, cool. We are up quite a few pip, and I'm still holding on to that. We are up 55 pip. Are you going to run it, or will be holding on to that? This is where there is a 15 minutes candle closed, and I would like to take this opportunity closing this trade right now for this nearly to quite a few pip move that we can see here in that area, and I'm out with nearly to 60 pip with this trade. All right, I also updated in the premium group for this trade. So 2 trades today, both of them successfully closed in profit, and taken profit here. You can share your thought in the live chat how you have done so far. It might go up higher, so I'm out with the current running profit here. profit taken on this one, and we are looking for now data coming in few minutes. And once the data is coming, we are ready for another more potentially. Now refreshing the chart, and also I'm going to look at this trade later in depth on what was the reason behind the trade. Guys, this is a short move, but there is a clue here that you can look at. Keep in mind that the false breakout is the key, right? If you want to enter a quick move, look for the false breakout, because after the false breakout, the market will have the initial move first before it go any direction. Okay, the January US CPI inflation report is due out Friday morning. Here is what expected to show. So we are facing the CPI in just a matter of less than 40 minutes, right? So the market here it's consolidating on a sideway. So we might see that at any point of time the market to deepen further. And as CPI is coming, we are looking at further entry. Now let's look at the trade that you have just opened. Let me record that one here. And the trade I have to update. All right, so we can see the market has created triple top here, if you look at, and with this triple top formation here in that area, which is a kind of reversal pattern that has formed on XAUUSD. And because it formed that reversal pattern here, if the market entirely reverse, we could see that again coming back below to the order block where it has started, right? Everything circulates, right? When it started, the market also like that. The market moves from imbalance to the imbalance. It's gonna start from order block, will rotate back to the order block again. And that's where once you understand that, also it becomes easier to follow up the market movement along the way. Do you trade Fibonacci pullback of the higher time frame? Fibonacci pullback of the higher time frame. I check the Fibonacci pullback, but I specifically don't trade Fibonacci because Fibonacci pullback can give an understanding of potential reversal. But one thing that I found that Fibonacci may work sometime, but you'll see that it may not work all the time. And the more reliable method that I use to trade is the smart money. Breakup structure and then entering from the key level. Okay, that's where the key. Entering from the key level and then trading based on the smart money entry, especially after a false breakout. This method, if you trade false breakout, this is where the smart money comes in the market. Look at this one here. This is a false breakout. Okay, and when you see the market has done this kind of false breakout, it's set for another big move. The one that we have entered here, the position that we have secured here, that is also a false breakout. How do you know this is a false breakout? If you look at here, now there are some way, or what I would say, that is symptoms of false breakout that you can recognize. Because the false breakout will happen in a specific way. The market will test any level with a bigger ATR and then potential reject of that level. Volume, yes. Now, when you look at the volume profile, sometime like every indicator is a lagging indicator. Keep in mind, traders. So if you look at the volume profile, also not is always giving you the clear understanding. The best way to know is from the ATR. Now, if you see that the market has had a breakout of the key level or from the trend and the ATR is higher, look at the last candle. See the long wick formation. That's a potential false break. You don't have to look at anything else. Simplicity is the key, because the more information you will gather, the further it will get complex for you to know that either it's a false breakout or the real breakout. Just simply look for the ATR. Look for the last candle, how it has reacted to that key level. I'll give you some examples here. And always look for the against the trend. See this breakdown here. Let it break opposite of the trend. So the trend is up, broken back below opposite with a bigger ATR candle. Drop back to the order block, bounce back up. Look for the order block and look for the false breakout to that order block. So if you look at the order block, if you don't know order block, there are quite a few shorts also I have posted here. You can look for that. And also you can discuss here as well. So if you look at, let's say this is a reversal pattern, the market is broken out of the reversal pattern with a narrow candlestick pattern. This is an order block. And once the market at some point reverse, look for that single move directly to the order block. That's a selling zone. Right? That's a selling zone. Now we are progressing towards CPI, right? And also let's look at this, the impact of this or the influence of this data coming later with CPI, how the market might be reacting, right? So how can we look at CPI? How can we trade CPI, which is very important to look at? Now, first of all, we need to understand that how CPI might be influencing the market. Let's look at the news as well. Okay, so looking at CPI here, it's just a matter of 30 minutes the data is coming. Now how does that also impact the market? Now if you look at, first of all, higher CPI than expected as per the explanation here, it said that change in the price of goods and services purchased by the consumer, excluding goods and services. Actual greater than forecast is good for currency, right? Actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Look at chart. Thank you. Now, actual greater than forecast is good for currency. That means if the CPI is higher, DXY potentially to be upside, though it might be a short term. And if DXY potentially to be upside, gold potentially to be downside. That's the calculation, right? But the overall trend, we can see that on gold is bullish. Now, if the CPI is coming higher, we might see short-term spike down here, potentially, right? So therefore, CPI data may create buying opportunity, isn't it? This is how interesting fact that you can look at. See how this, it's like a spider web, will create a new opportunity for buyers. Because if CPI is higher, DXY is higher, gold is lower. When gold is lower, it's in an uptrend. It's gonna go to a potentially to a support level opportunity for buyers to buy. See, this is what happened. Because whenever you see the market is like that, the market will react in that way. Okay, breaking that low here, and this market now, if you look at the before the data, the way the market has formed the structure, there is a higher chance for this price to eventually continue to trend back below here in that market. And you could see the price to remain potentially bearish. That we have seen there is a breakout structure here with this green candle is entirely rejected of this key level. So the chances for the market to continue to trend back down is higher. We'll be re-entering once potentially we see a clear price action confirmation for selling again. Along with also gold, I saw some movement on dollar yen and USD JPY. This is in a downtrend, but you see there was a significant pullback to the upside, and the market here. So with this multiple liquidity sweep, USD JPY started to trend downside here, potentially to create a new lower low. I hope that the line is on here. Here's the market slowly creating a downside move. If you look at this is series of lower high and it's a downtrend, and they're expecting the market to further lower its move back below here to this support level, and that's where you're looking at this market to eventually drop down here back below to this support level and then to create a new lower low. It eventually breaking below here to that support level if you look at, and we have 14 minutes to go, and I think before the news it's potentially another downside. Now the news spike might take it back to the upside, or you might see that further downside. But what's your thought on the traders? I would like to know that. Would like to see, we have posted a poll earlier and we saw this 56 vote, quite a few, 62% mentioned that the market is going to 4718. Okay, so let me start a poll here for the spike, because interestingly for the news and also other polls, really 95% of the time came out to be very, very convenient and right. So what is your bias with CPI on XAUUSD? That's the question. All right. And with that being said, what's your bias on XCPI XAUUSD? Is bullish. Number 2 is like spike up and a spike down. That's the all right. So I have posted one poll here, spike up and a spike down. Share your thought and opinion with that one here. We are moving towards the news session coming in 12 minutes. And the market slowly breaking off this key support level. Okay, start to break below, and looking forward to see the 10 minutes coming up, the data. And the market is currently in a after creating this triple top and then another false breakout, it eventually revert back below here, and it may continue to trend back down here to this support level. Here, this is where there is a, if you look at this, is a key level, and that key level is important. This is where we are looking at this market, and We have 1 minute to go. Ready for the data coming up in few minutes. So you have 1 minute to go for the data to come up. And that's a massive move if you look at what came out here. That's a massive move. All right, so 0.3% core CPI and what about the next? 0.2% for CPI. 2.4%, so less. And that has given potential and strength on DXY, downside on DXY, as we discussed here. So DXY got rejected off this level as we discussed previously, and dollar yen must be downside. Yeah, that's what you can see, while gold has got bounce off this level. Now this is a long-term bull market, as the market has got that rejection back above here, which is here. Now this is a key level. All right, so this is a key level, and with that key level, this is where the resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and from that resistance it's moving now back to the upside. So it created a narrow red candle, which is in fact, if you look at, this is now forming a potential order block. If this one form an order block, then we might see that this market again going back to the daily level, right? Daily resistance, and the market may continue to trend back to the upside here because there is a significant change in the data. Now with that upcoming, if you look at that, as this is the last day of trading, last day Friday is very important to look at. And so the data has given a really big blow, and what you can see, the market entirely broken above here. So are you going to see a retest of this neckline? Because there is an inverted head and shoulder, if you guys look at, and complete breakout from that inverted head and shoulder back to the upside here. And because there is an inverted head and shoulder breakout from that, we can see the market has entirely broken back above here. Large news spike like that are usually exaggerated and return back towards their point of origin. Now you are to the point, but the major trend here is bullish. If you look at, this is an order block here, and also it's a large inverted head and shoulder, if you can spot it here. Because it's a large inverted head and shoulder, the market may eventually could continue to rise here. There is one possibility, guys, because the major trend is bullish. If this break opposite direction of the trend, then I would say that okay, there is a return high probability. Still there is possible, all right, but the possibility here, because there is a long-term trend is bullish, the possibility here back to the upside in that market. All right, so here is the inverted head and shoulder. The market has broken back to the upside here. Okay. It did come back down a bit, but it's going back again. Look, it can be bearish still, okay? If both directional bias possible, you could be completely right in that situation, because let me delete all those levels. You can see this is the daily market and the price approach this this support and resistance, right? The market still can come back here, or it can entirely continue to rise back to create a higher high. Both direction 50-50 possibility. Now the way we can look at the market at the moment is to wait for how the price is reacting at this level, because if this market entirely reject back below, because if you look at of this one single candle, right, this is 15 minutes candlestick pattern, this one, and that 15 minutes candle is still 8 minutes remaining for to close. So it might close above and then entirely break below and continue to drop here, or we could see that it's trending in that direction. But for us, it reached that fair value gap. Now we will be waiting to see how the market is reacting to that. There is a narrow doji. This doji basically representing a possible breakout. If you look at this, is a narrow doji on the 15. It's a strong bullish, it's strong liquidity zone here. So there has been stronger liquidity sweep of that level. Now if it is a false breakout, that can happen. The market may entirely come back, but I think there is a higher chance for the continuation. What's your view on that? Share in the live chat. Now let me end the pool. Interestingly, you guys, next time don't miss out the pool. 52% spike up, still very close, but the higher number wins. That's interesting. All right, so the 15 minutes candlestick pattern that you can see here with this doji, it's a stronger rejection of this support level. Yeah, this is what you can see here in that area. And this is a complete breakout. If you look at, it's a strong breakout, triangular pattern. The market may eventually break above here. This triangle, if it create a false breakout below here of this level, that could be a significantly important zone here in that market. Now it's coming to that zone here. All right. So as traders, it's last day of trading week, Friday, and we have seen this CPI has given really a significant directional bias. So my view on the currently in the market is that I think DXY again setting for potential drop. We might see that potentially later today, there's a higher chance that DXY could continue to drop here, may drop. And if you look at the daily market on gold, that higher chance for the market to reverse back to the upside. We had a successful trade, and you guys, I believe that you enjoyed the successful trade. The data has come out. This is what I was waiting for, a potential directional bias. Now, what we need here at the moment is with this breakout candle, the market potentially to come back again. That one of you have said, I think it's IMS. This is what it is. So if we see the market has dropped down to the neckline, to this support level here, we will be looking for bullish entry in that market. Now, that is what we are looking at. And throughout the session, I will be trading later today as well in my session. If you guys are on the premium group, then don't miss out all the updates that I'm posting there. If you're not, you can join also the free Telegram link below this video for more updated education as well as analysis that I'm posting every single day in this channel for for all the community members and also traders. I hope that you enjoyed this session. I'm still waiting. I'm not entering yet because we want to see that deeper drop. And I hope that you enjoyed this session. You learned from here something. And every day I'm coming on live during the time that we have come today, next week as well. And we'll see you there again, trading live in this session every day and also learning and growing as a trader. Thank you. And I'll see you soon with any new trade setup coming up later.